Craig, so how do you think CSWIP certification benefits the wider plastics industry?
Welding, it's about understanding, it's about experience, and then verifying that through qualification. And I think for sort of the safety critical industries and applications, it should be considered mandatory. You've got people working with hazardous materials, you've got people in environmentally sensitive areas, all these things that as a welder you can have a significant impact on. And the clients have got to answer the question of, are we doing everything that's reasonably practicable to protect people from nasty substances and the environmental areas from impact. So I think there are definitely areas where mandatory certification would be a benefit.
I was going to ask you that because obviously certain materials, especially things like PVDF and polypropylene, are obviously used for chemical storage and other applications where nasty material is stored, and quite often those structures are fabricated using plastics welding, either extrusion or butt fusion or socket fusion for branches, that type of thing. So do you think we should be mandatory for all plastics welders, or?
I think it'd be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice because it'd create a very level playing field in the industry of plastics fabricating, that when people move from a job to a job, we've got a level playing field. But I think that there are other sectors in our market where they are much, much, much less critical. There are people using polyethylene to fabricate irrigation systems for football pitches or for the horticultural industry that would probably say that's a cost we're not prepared to bear, and our governing bodies do not demand it of us. So I think there's definitely different sectors.
Yeah, sure. And I guess even in those applications, there's a quality requirement, an issue where actually certification would be of benefit, I guess. Even in those applications which are less critical, I think there's still that quality and proof of competency where actually a particular end user may put themselves in as a benefit compared to their competitor, but also to their client, I think, in terms of quality, I guess, as well, even in those applications.
Yeah, and I think for the individuals, it becomes, I'm a plastic welder.
Yeah.
I'm a plastic welder.
I'm a certified.
But actually the standard and level that some of the people can be at are miles apart.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing that measures it unless you go through things like the CSWIP certification process.
Absolutely, yeah. We spoke a lot about the importance of obviously third-party certification for proof of competency and obviously compliance. I suppose from my side, what are the risks obviously to industry, especially on those highly critical applications where people are obviously doing an installation and don't have that competency or knowledge or certification?
I think we're all very quick to pick up on bad news. We're all very quick to focus on disasters. And when these things happen, we then start having to go through the material, the method, and the man to interrogate the cause of a problem. And I think there are proactive things that can be done and are done at each stage to try and avert potential disasters. Training and the certification of the man is certainly one of the elements to reduce the risk.
Yeah. And I think certainly from my experience, the industry as a whole can get a bad reputation if something goes wrong, which it quite often does, and somebody makes a mistake or structure or part fails prematurely, then often sometimes the pipe will get the blame or the welding process will get the blame. And actually, it's neither of those. It's actually the person that's done the work because they're not competent that's actually caused the issue.
Agreed. And unfortunately, the whole of the industry, whether it be the pipe maker, the injection moulder, the electrofusion coupler maker, the fabricator installer, you're all tarred with the same brush when there's a disaster. And it then starts the challenge of, why did we use plastics? Should we have used metallics? Yeah. Probably not a good challenge to ever be made.